Some time ago I made this cutter for this thing here, and it works like a charm. It's just that while cutting it's pushing a terrible burr. And that is of course because of the insert that I have here is installed in a very shallow angle. When I use it in a very small angle, just a few degrees here, it leaves a very nice finish. But this is where the burr comes in on this side of the cutting tool. And it's of course also the same burr that creates this weird shape here in the cutting tool. So every time I use it, the shape of this thing is changing a little bit. And so sometime later, in one of these occasional clear moments, I thought it should be better if my cutting tool is installed straight. So the cut will be on this side in an angle, but opposite, almost no burr. And that's where I created this cutting tool. Between the center line and the cutting tip is more distance than in the other one. And as you can see, the cutting tool is straight. And indeed, while using it, it makes way less burrs, so that's a win. But I think the distance between the center line and the cutting tool is a bit too big, which makes it a tiny bit wobbly. So it doesn't leave a very nice finish. So the plan for today is to make a third one. More or less same diameter than this one, but with the cutting tool in this direction. So I can come up to a right shoulder and I will have maximum support in the cutout in the tool. And to make it even more rigid, I'm gonna use the same diameter here, which is the biggest collet I have, and shorten a little bit this length. I think this is really hot because it turns blue. Yep, hot. Perfect. Since I have this Celtic lathe, I don't make any big projects anymore. Well, let me explain. The capacity of both machines is more or less the same. It means 500 millimeter maximum between centers for this one and also for this one. Maximum diameter for this one is a little bit smaller than this one. But on this one I can take decent cuts. I made this thing taking cuts 2.5 millimeter with a decent feed, and the machine is asking for more. You can hear it, it's a piece of cake. This machine, one millimeter cuts maximum with a slow feed, which means making this thing on this machine is gonna take almost 1 hour. And I just made this on this one 10 minutes. Small project. That said, let's continue make something here. Now, if I remember well, this one was made out of 2 pieces and then pressed together. Well, for me it was hammered together because I didn't have a press. But whatever. Now I have to make this cutout here, but at 60 degrees, so that my little insert here will be straight. I think I'm gonna put a parallel under here, because otherwise my machine will touch here the jaws. I almost made a stupid mistake here. Instead of setting the thing at 60 degrees, I had only 30. Now luckily I checked with my little insert here to see if the direction, but okay, now I fixed it. But now there is another problem. The head of the milling machine is at maximum that way, can't go further. And my workpiece is sticking out too much. I need to come in from this corner here 14 millimeter that way. And now I have almost 20. So off camera I will take off this vise and install the small blue one, and I bring you back when it's finished. I'm ready to make the cutout, of course, to install this little insert here. And I will install it 2 millimeter above center. As we can see here, center of my cutter, this is the little insert with a little bit of imagination. Yeah, this is the relief angle and 4 millimeter thickness. When, for example, we use a boring ball in the lathe and we cut small diameters, because of the roundness of the part, the underside of the cutting tool could maybe rub on the inside of the cut. And that's why I will install my little insert a little bit above center. Alright, I think it looks a bit like I hoped it would. A tiny bit of stick out here for some relief and more or less 1 millimeter on the bottom. All that's left to do now is give this thing a try. This was a 0.5 mm cut, and the surface finish looks promising, and also it didn't push any burr. Right, let's try again in the other direction. And this is the part straight out of the vise. I didn't deburr, I didn't clean, nothing. Just to show the result. Of course, this weird pattern here is where I moved the cutting tool to move from conventional milling to client milling. But all in all, I think it looks good. I think it's a very nice result. It pushes a tiny little burr, but nothing special. And also, while cutting, I can hardly hear the tool cut. On the other one I use, I hear the cut. This one, just changing the angle a bit, seems to work much better.